As you're probably aware, unless you've been living under a rock, a shooting occurred in Thousand Oaks, California. 13 people, including the perpetrator, died, and another 18 were injured. The perpetrator of this shooting is Ian David Long. He was a Marine Corps veteran, and he served in Afghanistan. Now, people are trying to blame PTSD for this and all that stuff, but we ultimately don't know what was going on in the shooter's head, because he didn't leave behind a note or anything like that. But we can kind of piece together a few things. He's not the first person to ever do something like this. I mean, a lot of these shooters, as was pointed out, were military veterans or wanted to be in the military. And so that should be quite obvious, because people who have an interest in violence and like violence and all that stuff, like guns, where else would they go but the military? It seems like a pretty logical place for them to go. That being said, it's just like, there are so many factors that go into these shootings. People like this do not just snap. I've said it in my other videos. They don't just snap. It takes years. In any case, he had a legally purchased Glock 21, which is chambered in the .45 caliber. Anyway, he legally purchased the said firearm in California, and then got an extended magazine for it, which is illegal in California. In any case, he went to the Thousand Oaks bar called Borderline, and he shot the place up, and he killed, again, 12 people, including one police officer, before the SWAT team got there, and he went to an office and turned the gun on himself and blew his brains out, which is what a lot of these guys do at the end of their rampages. In the unlikely event you don't know anything about these people. But anyway, it's just, people are going to try to politicize this. They're going to want more gun control. They're going to want less gun control. They're going to want better mental health services. They're going to want, a whole bunch of stuff. And the fact of the matter is that it's just way more complicated than that. This guy had the police called on him a few times, not a lot, but a few times, when he was acting irrationally. He might have suffered from PTSD. He probably did suffer from PTSD, given the fact that he served in Afghanistan. But still, 22 veterans commit suicide a day. They don't massacre people. In fact, very few people, veteran or not, decide to just take a gun and just start shooting a bunch of people. What was his motive? Did he hate? He clearly was a misanthrope who hated the world. We ultimately don't know the answer to these questions, because the only person who can answer that splattered his brain matter all over the walls of a bar and grill office in California. He's the only one that has the answer to these questions, and he didn't leave a note. He certainly didn't leave a manifesto like Elliot Rodger did. But anyway, several of the people who survived this shooting, and I think even one who died, was a survivor of the massacre that took place in Las Vegas. I have made several videos about Stephen Paddock. If you want, you can check them out. In any case, it was interesting, because it's like, I think there was not one but two 21-year-old birthday parties, like 21 birthday parties going on there. And in any case, this whole enigma, it's like, he sought help from the VA for treatment, and they didn't give it to him. And who ultimately knows what was going through this man's head? He was 28 years old, and he was a Marine Corps veteran, and he was living with his mother. That much we know. And everyone deals with PTSD differently. I mean, it's a very complex issue. We ultimately, and his friends always described him as just, people that knew him always described him as pretty happy, you know, friendly, helpful, cheerful, and all that stuff. But it just shows that you don't know who's going to do this kind of crap. It's always like, oh no, they had the wrong guy. That's it, as with serial killers. It's like, with spree killers like this guy, it's like, either nobody's surprised or everybody's surprised. And, anyway, it just, this guy clearly didn't care about life or death and he wanted to die, but he wanted to do it in a very spectacular way, and he did so. It was horrible, but it was still spectacular. And it's kind of like Achilles in a way. He wanted his name to last through the ages. Well, I got news for you. People will forget this guy's name. His name, he may get his own documentary. A documentary will be made about him someday, just like they make about all these people, but that's about it. In any case, I will probably be making another video about this man in the coming future. I hope you enjoyed this one. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.